What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Becoming a Five-Star Stylist. If this is your first time viewing my videos, welcome. Recently, I've been working on a series talking about different archetypes utilizing superstars. And we've covered Beyonce, we've covered Rihanna, and I've waited a little bit of time before I introduced, well, this next one needs no introduction, but I've waited a little bit of time to feature this artist because they are so polarizing. There's a lot of love for this artist and also a lot of hate for this artist. Without any further ado, we're talking about the one and only Kanye West. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. And whether you love the guy, whether you hate the guy, you have to admit that he is a musical genius. He is a self-made billionaire, and he is a one of a kind. So I'm just going to jump right into it and talk about some of the features that I admire most. And before I get started, I do want you guys to recognize that even if you don't like a person, it's okay to take away the best. So I love take the good, leave the rest. And I invite you to do the same with this episode. So, number one, Kanye West is unapologetic with his authenticity, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether it's insane for him to say. He just goes ahead and he says it, he puts it all out there. And the takeaway for that for me, and being able to incorporate that into being a hair professional, is it teaches you to embrace your unique identity and core values. In business, authenticity resonates deeply with audiences and builds lasting trust. So with that, um, I posted a video. I make reference to it often, and it's right here. It's a TikTok video where I spoke to a young lady who said Detroit hairstylists are ghetto and unprofessional. And the things that I said were polarizing, and I had just as many people say, "You're right, and I love what you're saying," as I had people say, "You're wrong, you're so judgmental, blah, blah, blah." Either way, I was confident in what I said, and though it was a difficult moment for me, I realized if I'm going to utilize my platform and speak to what I know, people are not going to always love that, and that's okay, because the people that do love it are going to double down and ride for me. Um, so number two, embracing polarity and controversy. That speaks to exactly what I just said. So in essence, Kanye doesn't shy away from polarizing opinions. He leverages controversy to keep himself in the spotlight, creating buzz and dialogue. So whether it's because of his wife walking around naked half the time, or him just taking shots at other conglomerates like Nike or like Adidas or whatever, or Kanye or Beyonce and Jay-Z. Whoever he takes a shot at, he doesn't mind, and no one can touch him. And when you do that, all it does is bring attention to himself. Do I want to run my business this way? No, I personally do not. However, I can respect that there's a certain confidence that comes with being untouchable. Um, so the takeaway is not to be afraid of taking a bold stance. Um, Thoughtfully challenging the status quo, which can differentiate your brand and spark engaging conversations. So, for the sake of being different or for the sake of being opposing to people, I don't know if that's the approach to take. But there have been times where I'm scrolling on the internet and I see something that just doesn't make sense to me, even though a large number of people are agreeing with it. And in those times, I could easily use that opportunity to speak against it and be the voice of many people who are thinking the exact same thing as me. And so the other thing that I would like to roll into this particular approach is to always have the magic formula, which is competence and confidence. So again, not just speaking for the sake of speaking, but if you see something that doesn't make sense to you as a professional and you speak to that, it's going to show that you're a competent professional and that people can trust you with their hair, with doing the services that you're speaking to or against. And so I would always say, keep that in mind. Also, remember that you at this point should have a foundation for a brand. And even if you don't, just keep in mind that you never want to do anything that doesn't resonate truly with who you are at your core. You don't want to build a brand on being Wendy Williams if that's not who you are at your core. It takes a lot of work to be a gossip and to talk about a lot of people. And so if that's not who you truly are and you don't want to commit to creating content that way, maybe don't start off that way. That takes us into our next topic, which is innovative disruption and creativity. And so just because you start a certain way doesn't mean that you have to end that way. We know Kanye West, we knew Kanye West for pink polos and empowering music, and he's since segued into fashion, into sneakers, into all of these other things that has solidified him and actually made him more money than music has. And to go all the way back, he started off as a music producer. He wasn't even respected as a rapper. So it's okay to start one way, and it's totally okay to make a pivot into whatever else makes sense for you. The key takeaways for that are: in business, innovation is crucial. It This teaches us to continuously seek out fresh perspectives and challenge industry conventions to stay relevant and influential. It's important to stay in the know, be mindful of the trends. That doesn't mean that you have to jump on every single trend, but as I like to say, you can't break the rules properly if you don't know the game. And so if you are not educating yourself and knowing what's happening in the industry that you're becoming or a part of, there's no way for you to truly grow. And again, always keep in mind that there is a level of you in all of this. So as long as you have a foundation of who you are, you can play with the trends and appeal to different audiences while still maintaining yourself, if that makes sense. Moving forward, the next one is unwavering confidence and vision. Kanye's self assured nature and commitment to his grand vision have propelled his success. This to me says to play the long game. And there are so many, now more than ever, hairstylists who are incredibly skilled, but it ends there. People come out of school wanting to charge premium. People come, or they don't even go to school, but they buy a couple wigs wholesale, start selling them, and call themselves a hairstylist. And they maybe affect a couple people negatively, maybe they don't. But there's no long game, there's no vision. There's, hey, I want this money by tomorrow, I'm gonna do what I have to do to get it by tomorrow. And I'm gonna be honest with you, sometimes you really need that money by tomorrow. But I have learned in my professional experience that I've gained a lot more from playing the long game, not trying to get all my money out of one person, not trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes, in no way be deceptive. Because in this industry and with it being so saturated, when someone feels safe with you as a professional hairstylist, when they feel like they can trust you, they will come and they will bring their mother and they will bring their sisters and they will bring their best friends and their friends will bring their friends. It continues to grow in a beautiful, organic way. And you don't have to do much effort when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And so, to bring it all the way back around, having a grand vision for what your goal is going to be the vehicle for what you want to see happen within your career. If you are only focusing on a day to day, you're playing checkers. You're just trying to make jumps. But if you're playing chess, every single move matters. And that's the difference between what makes you a 5-star stylist and what makes you an Instagram stylist. And lastly, I want to talk about masterful storytelling and narrative control. Kanye expertly crafts his personal and professional narrative, shaping public perception and ensuring his story remains compelling and distinct. A great example of this for me was his Super Bowl commercial in 2024, where he spent so much money on the Super Bowl commercial spot that he had no budget for an actual commercial. So what did Kanye do? He pulled up his iPhone, recorded a 20-second video saying, go to YEEZY.com, everything is $20, peace. The video was not even in high resolution. It was a grainy picture. He recorded it at night, and he went on to make 20 million in maybe a week or so, something like that. And so as long as you have your finger to the pulse, as long as you can stand by your antics, I think that matters more. So many of us want to do things perfectly. So many of us think that unless we have a professional camera, we're recording 4K, 60 frames per second, our hair is perfectly done, makeup perfectly done, everything's perfect. That's what matters. And I remember most recently, just to go walk with me for a second. There's a famous stylist. Her name is Daisy Does My Hair. And she posted a video saying how she most recently just invested in a pair of shears that she got from Go Sleek. And Daisy does phenomenal hair. She's always done phenomenal hair for as long as I followed her. And it never was about having the best pair of shears or the best tools. When you have the skill, you have the skill, and you get to upgrade your tools as you go. But it's not about investing in the best of everything if you at your core are not at the level you want to be at or that you should be at. It's a journey, and as long as you continue to respect the journey and earn your stripes along the journey, you can't help but to achieve success in that. You have to have patience with yourself. So developing your brand story, having some transparency, sharing things that happen, the good, the bad, the ugly, it makes you more real. So what I'm noticing is that people are more drawn to admitting where you have made a mistake. And I have another video that's a two-part video on TikTok. It started with this video and I ended with this video here. And in that series, I talk about how I made a big mistake as a hairstylist. Even though I was 14 years into my career at the time, I made a huge mistake. I shared that with people. I engaged them by saying, what do you think I should have done? Most people said, I think that what you did was perfect. And if I was your client, if I were your client, I would be 100% satisfied. What did that do for me? That made them interested in becoming my client. And I could have stopped there. But I took it a step further and gave them a second video actually righting the wrong that I did with those videos. And they'll be linked in the show notes below. But when you invite people in and show them who you are, what you're about, that you're not perfect, but you're willing to continue to learn, that is all a client can ask for. This is what makes a 5-star stylist. Now, Kanye is not quite the, hey, I messed up, let me do better per se, but he doubles down on who he is. And whether you like it, whether you don't like it, he is who he is. You can accept it and you can buy the sneakers and listen to the music or not. And I think that if we start to take a page out of that book a little bit more, we'll start to attract people. And this could go a lot of different ways, not only professionally, but romantically, platonically. Your entire friendship, dating pool, and client base can change if you start to lean into exactly who you are and disregard who does not like it. Everything can change. But if you're lukewarm, if you're straddling the fence, you can continue to do it that way and you will achieve success. But it feels so much better when you hop down off the fence, get your hands dirty, and make some motion. So that's just a few things that I have admired about Kanye West. And I am personally a fan, even though he is a lot of different things. He struggles with mental health. And he's a creative genius, and I will always love how he influenced my life. He's the first rapper that I related to who wasn't talking about guns or violence, just fashion and looking good and love. And so, regardless of who he has become as a result of what he's experienced in life, I will always respect the man that he is and the rapper that he is, the creative that he is, and continue to pray that he finds the best Kanye inside of himself through this journey. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you want me to feature another artist, you can comment below. If you have any cool takeaways or things that you want to share this with a friend. Tag them below as well. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.